goodies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we're checking out a new video from TheOdd1sOut. This is talking to strangers. This is something that is extremely difficult for me, talking to strangers. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't work out. Like for me, and I mean internally. And approaching somebody and talking to them, it depends on what, we've got to talk about what's going on. I'm getting anxiety right now. Link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Let's see what he's got to say about it, and let's see whether we agree or disagree. Or it might just make us laugh. We'll see. Let's get started.
Let's pretend you get on a bus and it's super crowded. The only spot that's open is between two strangers.
No.
So you sit down between two people you never met and everyone is fine. Everyone's keeping to themselves. No one's making eye contact. It's perfect.
Invader.
Sure, your shoulders are touching, but that's just what happens. That's part of the bus going experience, you poor person. But then at the very next stop, aisle seat guy gets off. So now you and window seat guy are sitting right next to each other. But since you're in the middle, you have to be the one to decide,
scoot
do
over
you
or
move
stay
or not? I honestly don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is. I'm conflicted. Because if you move, it would be silently telling the other person, hey, you're disgusting. I can't stand having our shoulders touch any longer, and I'm glad to finally get away from you. Ugh.
Yikes.
But on the other hand, if I was the window seat guy, I would want the middle seat guy to become the new aisle seat guy. I wouldn't see moving as rude. I would just want his gross, disgusting body as far away from me as possible.
Oh, gosh.
That's not rude. But on the other hand, maybe I'm overthinking everything, and most people don't even mind being this close to another human, and they aren't struggling socially.
I have the same problem.
Now imagine that same situation, but with urinals. If you're in the middle urinal, do you move halfway through to the other urinal? Because I would.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to people when you're sitting 2 inches away from them. I always felt like I should say something, like,
I know.
Hey, did you see the game last night?
Exactly.
I didn't. I was too busy drawing cartoons. But I realized that this is a two-way street.
There's a lot of him
I'm worried about not talking to someone, but they're not talking to me either.
Right.
We both agreed that there's this unwritten contract between us that we're not even going to look at each other. It got me thinking about strangers and specifically how I treat them. And how I can make money.
Really quick, I want to say I completely agree. There's that awkwardness of, hey, I want to move over. And I feel like if I move over, then I'm insulting them. But at the same time, if I was the window seat person, I would want the person in the middle to move over so we could have space. If I am sitting close to somebody, like especially on a plane, if I'm sitting next to somebody, I feel extremely awkward when you're sitting there and you don't say anything to them. Like crazy awkward. So I try to think of something. I'll be sitting there. I could sit there for, if it's a 5-hour flight, I'm sitting there for at least 2 hours trying to figure out what is going to be the one thing that I say to this person so it's no longer awkward that I'm sitting in breathing distance, like where if I exhale, they're inhaling my exhale. You are really close. So I got to say something to you because you're really close. And not as a, hey, get away from me. The seats are, there's nothing you can do. The seats are really, really close. But got to say something. It's awkward. You're sitting there. I agree.
Money off of them. Hey-oh! I'm just kidding. That was a joke. For most of my life, I would go out of my way to avoid talking to people. I would stay in my lane, mind my own business, no eye contact. If everyone's using a urinal, I'd have to pee tomorrow. Yes, I'm lonely. But now that YouTube's the thing, I'm interacting with strangers more often than I've had to in my entire life. I've been thinking a lot about strangers. And first of all, I think the word stranger is already an insulting label for someone just because you don't know their name.
Hello, my name's John Doe.
Oh, I don't know this person. They're a stranger. They're strange. I'm the normal one. They're the freaks. They probably murder people with an axe.
You're reading too much into the word.
It's always the go-to profession of a stranger, an axe murderer.
Oh,
but the people you see throughout your day are all humans with their own hopes and dreams. And some of them may hope to kill you, but you'll never know because you didn't ever take the time to get to know them. So I think that the people you see throughout your daily life aren't strangers. They're potential friends. Except for the weird ones, obviously. Stay away from them. And yes, I'm telling you to judge people based on their appearance. They're the ones that chose to wear anime shirts in public, okay? So back to the bus scenario.
We're judging that guy, not the sloppy,
nasty
looking
fellow
one.
human being. So far, there's not a single reason why I should dislike this person. But I don't know why, if you put him and me on a bus next to each other, I want him as far away from me as possible. Just stop touching my shoulder. So that was the last time I took the bus. Unfortunately, that's not
He
the
doesn't take the
only
bus
place
anymore.
you meet strangers.
Dear.
One time I was
Okay,
at
that was
Home
creepy.
Depot and I was looking for jumper cables and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I don't know if I'm the only
I'll
human
search
that's
for a
like
long
this,
time
but I will try
before.
everything in my power to not talk to a sales associate. I guess it's because I know they get paid minimum wage and their life sucks, and I just want to leave them alone and
I
not
don't
make
wanna
their
bother
job
them.
any harder than it has to be.
And
But
it's
asking
uncomfortable.
employees for help isn't even bothering them that much.
Well, right, but it's like for me. It's more so I don't want to ask them for help and they not want to help me, because I know sometimes I did retail. Sometimes you don't want to help nobody. You want to stock a shelf, get your work done, and deuces. You want to be out. So when somebody stops you in the middle of doing something, you have to help them. I can understand someone being upset by that. I normally tried to be very helpful because I wanted good customer service when I came out into the world and bought stuff. So in those situations, it's more so not that I don't want to talk to a stranger, although there is that on top of it, like social anxiety. But outside of that, it's also that I don't want to be frustrated by somebody who doesn't want to help me when I ask them for help. That's super frustrating for me. Extremely frustrating for me.
Much. In fact, I think it's part of their job.
Yeah,
like,
it
what's
is,
the
it
worst
is.
thing they're gonna say? Ugh. You don't know where one specific item is?
I've
Everyone
seen people
else
who've done
knows.
this.
Did you even look? They're in the jumper cable aisle, idiot.
Yeah.
No one's
Okay,
gonna
except
think
for
that.
the slapping,
So
except
feeling
for the
desperate, I mustered up what little courage I had and swaggered up to someone wearing an orange vest and said,
Okay.
Excuse me, do you know where the jumper cables are? I don't work here. Oh, you don't work here?
Wow.
And then he walked away.
Oh, that is awkward.
And then he waddled away, waddle. And then the very next day, bum. So I think the logical thing to do in that situation would have been to find someone who does work there. But I left the store because I didn't want to run into that same guy again.
Oh,
but I
dear.
also bought a hammer because I didn't want people to think that I stole something.
Oh.
So
I know your pain. I know your pain.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you wear an orange vest to Home Depot...
I guess you needed them for your guy. I know you can't go anywhere. I mean, I'm not laughing at his pain, but when he just said, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, what? Oh yeah, he never got the jumper cables. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy.
Depot, just expect people to ask you for help. Same goes for people who wear red shirts at
That's
Target.
true. Yeah.
You'd think I'd learn
I
from
don't
my
wear red
mistakes,
when I
but
go to
no, I have a
Target.
bunch more examples. When my book came out, my publisher said that it was going to be carried at Barnes & Noble. And I thought that was
That's
super
sweet.
duper cool
Look
and
at
wanted to
his
see my
sweet
book
eyes.
in the wild. Not to buy or anything, just to have a look at.
I
So I
know.
took my friend Adam from Something Else YT, and we went to the local
cute.
Barnes & Noble and started our search. We looked
like
in the
his
humor
little happy.
section, didn't find it. Then we checked the new release section. It wasn't there either.
Okay.
Then we looked at the best-selling section, then the
Okay.
religious section, but we couldn't find the book anywhere. So
Okay.
either the publisher lied or they had already sold out. But
Oh.
just to be sure, I asked one of the workers, hey, do you guys have a book by TheOdd1sOut? He kind of looks like this. And the worker typed something out on his computer and said, oh yeah, we got those in the back. We just haven't put them out yet. So then he went to the back room,
okay.
brought out a copy and handed it to me saying, here you go, kid. And I thought,
dear.
well, frick. I can't just
Now
hand
you're-
it back to the guy and say, oh no, that's okay. I didn't
Now
want
you
to
have
buy
to
it.
buy
I just
it.
wanted to have a look at it.
Now
Do
you
you know
have
how
to buy
inconvenient
it.
that would be? So
Yes.
the only
He
less
went to the
awkward
back.
option I could think of
Is
was
buy
to
it.
buy my own book.
You had to buy
And
it.
you know what?
You
I'd
had to
get a
buy
couple
it.
cents back from this purchase, so it wouldn't have been a total loss. But Adam, being the more
kind of.
sensible one, said,
Dude, this is ridiculous. You have to come clean.
so then he went to
Right.
the worker and said,
So he actually wrote this book. He just wanted to get a look at it, like, in the wild.
and
Right.
the worker said,
Good job,
oh,
Adam.
that's so cool. Do you want to sign our copies? And then I thought,
Oh,
well,
that's
hold
cool.
on. You're not even going to ask
That's
me for my
cool.
ID? How do you know I actually wrote this book and I'm not some guy trying to deface someone else's?
That's true.
And then the guy
That's
gave me a
true.
whole stack of my books and I signed them all. Last
That's
story
true.
before
That's
I go.
cool, though.
I was in the hallway of a building and me
Oh,
and this
he's
potential
so
friend
cute.
crossed paths. He said, hello. And I was going to respond with, hello, and how's it going?
And
But
what
I
did you say?
combined the two and ended up saying, how?
Oh.
And then I jumped out a window and fell to my death. I can't rationalize that behavior. Maybe I
Oh
spend
my
too much
goodness.
time on the computer and I'm not used to looking at real people's
It's
faces.
hard.
But I'm trying to change. Don't
It's
get me
hard.
wrong, going to conventions and meeting fans has helped me a lot with talking to people. Granted, those
that's good.
conversations are
That's
usually
good.
one-sided and a real stranger won't already know who I am, but
Right,
they've still helped
right,
me.
right.
Now, you might be expecting me to give you advice on overcoming social anxiety.
It's
but if you
hard.
watch this video, you know I'm not the most qualified to give that advice, but I'll
And
try
I
my
agree.
best.
Like, I mean, like, I have the
feel
same
confident,
issues.
and I'm still working on it. But you have to understand that we're all people, and we all have things that we're struggling with. And in reality, we're not all watching or caring about every little thing that other people do. We're all too busy worrying about what other people think of us. So with enough practice and believing in yourself, you can show the world your true colors, and I think you'll find that people are a lot nicer than you think. So if you're the middle seat guy on the bus and you have to decide whether or not to move, do whatever you want. No one cares. Just stop touching my shoulders. Hey, everyone. I know it's been a...
Actually, just move over. That's the courteous thing. But I also would feel like, okay, this person moved away, then maybe there's something wrong with me. Or maybe it's that they moved because they, wanted to help me. I have the same issues. I overthink everything. And I say everything, but I literally mean everything. If I dove into my mind and told you guys some of the crazy, wild thought places my mind goes, you would be like, wow, Christine, you really need a nap. Like a really good nap. But I have to say, like, I related so much to these shorts within this video, like the different examples he had, because the whole bus thing, whenever I'm in a situation on a plane, not a plane, but when you're in situations where you're sitting with people and that happens, like, it's like, what do you do? If you move, are you insulting them? Or if you stay, you don't want to stay. You want to move over. You want to have your own space. You want to just be comfortable. But how's that going to make that other person feel? But then if I was that other person, I would want the middle person to move over. So I completely understand. The book thing, I'm not going to lie. I would have bought the book. I would have just bought the book. If I was him, if I had written that book and I asked and they went to get it, because you don't want to be, and I get his thing. He doesn't want to say, hey, I wrote this book, because he doesn't, it's humility, and it's also awkward. I feel like if you're the type of person to be like, hey, I want to see my books in the wild, then it comes off bad. And there is a good way to say it. There's a way that if you are the author, that you can go to the store and say, hey, you want to see your books? I just can't think of that way, that without feeling kind of awkward. And I figure that's the situation that he had. He didn't want to come off like, oh yeah, I'm this author that wrote this book and I'm going to see it, so he couldn't figure out a way to say it. So he bought the book, and I would have bought the book too. But then my husband would have been like Adam and would have said something to the guy, or at least told me what to say in a way that doesn't come off, brash and cocky. He would have helped me. So I understand, James. I understand completely. The stranger thing, though, that's the only thing I don't agree with. The word stranger, I don't think is insulting. It's, they're strangers. You don't know them. But other than that, I agreed with pretty much everything else. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you have social anxiety? Sometimes I can maneuver well, but sometimes he just exposed what's in my mind. Let me know your thoughts if you experience the same things, or if you are like, girl, you're crazy, this is what you should do. If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below to support the Odd Ones Out. If you like this video, and everybody else that works on these videos, if you like this video, hug the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies. Toodles.